tight-lipped. This is a very authoritarian country where journalism is not necessarily always appreciated. So information has been a little scarce on what has actually happened here, if there are any injuries there. But the fact that there was a fire that broke out, it did come during this missile fire, and it just shows just how even here in Dubai, that's always seemed like it's a little bit apart from the other chaos happening in the Middle East, that this conflict has reached its shores.
John, thank you for your reporting. We'll continue to stay by you and your team from the Associated Press. John Gambrell in Dubai. Eamon with me again. John's right. It's hard to sometimes report about everything that's going on from the Emirates or for any of those Gulf countries, but you've been getting a lot of video.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of video from a lot of eyewitnesses, and a large part of that has to do with the fact that there's so many expats there, and there are a lot of Americans. In fact, some that are staying at the Fairmont who were able to share some of those videos with us and describe for us what they were hearing. And to John's point, it's not clear if whether the missile itself hit the hotel or whether the missile was intercepted at some point over the skies of Dubai, and then the shrapnel or the debris fell, causing that fire. But
it was a real fire.
It's a real fire, and it gives you a sense of the danger of what's happening. And there's been other videos that we've obtained as well that show what appear to be interceptors. And in this one here, you see,
this one.
Yeah, this one is you can see.
So look at the middle of your screen. There you go. You see that?
You see what appears to be something on fire descending into Dubai, and it gives you a sense really of just how precarious the situation is, how dangerous it is for the people there. The UAE and others are providing information in real time, mostly from a civil defense perspective, meaning they are updating on casualties and updating on areas where there are dangers. There's still very much a shelter-in-place order for U.S. Embassy personnel as well as for citizens of the UAE. We're also getting some very disturbing footage and claims out of Bahrain, where the Bahraini Ministry of Interior...
There's two things going on in Bahrain. That is the headquarters of the U.S. Fifth Fleet.
Which we confirmed earlier today had been the subject of a strike by Iran. Whether or not, again, that it got through or whether it was shrapnel that landed remains to be seen, but it was an intended target of the Iranians because of the fact that it is where the Central Command's Fifth Fleet is headquartered out of. But in Bahrain, just within the last hour, the Ministry of Interior there confirmed residential buildings have been hit. And so it goes back to the question that we've kind of been discussing throughout all of this as to whether or not this was a plan set in motion by the Iranians, and this is the first wave of it. I mean, we're about to go into nightfall there. There is a belief that Iran, as we saw last summer, launched a lot of strikes during the nighttime with an attempt to overwhelm and perhaps use the nighttime vision to its advantage, if you will, flying over, having drones and ballistic missiles fly over this part of the world. So we're going into a very critical period, and all of this is happening against the backdrop of an uncertainty whether or not the supreme leader is alive and the president of Iran is alive.
And we don't know that he's not, but we haven't seen him. But we also haven't seen him for 6 weeks. This is the Ayatollah.
Exactly, and the reason why I say that is important is because we don't know if these retaliatory strikes were a plan set in motion, irrespective of the outcome of the first wave of American-Israeli attacks, or whether or not somebody is in control and in command of Iran and ordering these specific attacks against these specific targets.
Eamon, thank you. We'll continue to talk to Eamon this morning. Coming up, we are monitoring the ongoing situation in Iran and its retaliatory strikes. We're going to continue to cover this in just a moment. We'll be right back.
This, my friends, has become very, very serious in what's happening right now. And from all perspectives, please pay attention to what is happening right here. Please. Because if people think that because this is happening on the other side of the world, that it's not going to affect the American people, you got another thought coming, because it is going to affect the American people. And if it don't affect us one way, it'll affect us another way, pertaining to prices going up on gas and oil and etc. In addition to me saying all of that, the predictions that I made in 205 pertaining to a bloody road ahead is in correspondence to all this right now, in addition to major electrical disturbances of these massive problems that even 2 years ago, before President Trump became president, I had already done told my viewers that if it was me, I would start preparing for war. And if you didn't listen to those advisories, well, then there's no one's fault but your own. Because this right here is proof in the pudding towards what's actually escalating.
But there's no
plan for him to address the nation from Mar-a-Lago. So it's possible the next time that we see him is when he comes back to the White House tomorrow.
Okay, Peter, let's go through the time frame this past week, just the past 5 days. In fact, on Tuesday, you had Marco Rubio meeting with those 8 senators on Capitol Hill. Okay, now that's before the State of the Union. Think about how many events we have watched over the past 5 days. And the Democratic senators came out to the microphone, and they reacted with a lot of concern, frankly. And then you had the President of the United States in his State of the Union that evening talk about Iran must say we will not have a nuclear weapon. And you had this 10-day deadline that was running, and it looks to me on the calendar like the U.S. and Israel hit on day 9 of that day 10 calendar. And you had reporters like Mark Halperin filing photos earlier today. While we were watching the president in Corpus Christi, Texas on Friday afternoon, you had General Kane, you had the Department of War, head of the Department of War, Pete Hegseth, all arriving in Palm Beach, Florida on separate planes on Friday afternoon. And how much of that were you observing from the White House? And how much of a heads up did you and others have toward the possibility of action in the middle of the night?
President Trump was pretty candid over the last couple of weeks that he felt if the negotiating team that was meeting with Iran or meeting with middlemen who were talking to Iran, if things were not going well, then he would just order another mission like Midnight Hammer. Obviously, this one is much more widespread, but President Trump was not really keeping any of this a secret. He was very candid that he was not satisfied with the way that negotiations were going, and he felt like he needed to leave all options on the table publicly. And so this is something that the whole world could see it. It's just you never really know when the president is going to do things because, again, this is a president that you can ask him about anything and he'll give you a candid, blunt answer. And he was telling us about 24 hours ago that he had not made up his mind, but it would appear that while he was giving this political speech yesterday in Corpus Christi, the final pieces of the operation were being moved into place. And basically, as soon as he landed
What's going on, David?
at Mar-a-Lago, that would be when the team got together, the national security team. And as far as the
Keeping up with the
planes
news
that were
right
there
now?
down in Palm Beach,
No, they're going to war with Iran, huh?
Well, I mean, technically, yeah, but it's a lot worse than that.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
You better gas up your vehicles.
oh yeah.
It's going to get crazy.
They've already done. Iran's done already hit 2 or 3 of our naval bases over there in 2 or 3 other countries. Plus, they've already done hit Nabad over there, Saudi Arabia. It's going regional.
Yeah. Well,
It's going regional. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
That means the whole Middle East is fixing to turn into a freaking Roman candle.
Well, let it. There's nothing you're going to do about it. And, now the thing is, Iran was trying to have peace. I
No,
don't care what
no.
you hear.
no,
Well,
they was
it's
not.
true.
They had
It's
plenty of time to.
They were willing to give up all of their enriched uranium in the interest of peace.
David, you're listening to false information.
Okay. I'm just telling you. Israel has a plan to basically, they want to get rid of these enemies they have all around.
Well, do you blame them?
No, not at all. But,
Especially the way that they was attacked, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying they're right or wrong, really, but I do know that we're...
Well, not only you got to look at this, but you got to look at what's going on right now with Mexico. You got to look with what's going on with Russia and Iran. You got, I think, Pakistan has done already killed a bunch of people over in India, or vice versa. This thing is turning into a Roman candle, brother.
Well, World War III.
Well, it's
How will it end if the U.S. goes to war with Russia and China?
I don't know. Your guess is good
We
as
don't
mine,
win.
but you know how many you know how many
win.
people that military soldiers that they have in China.
Well, I'm just telling you, the outgrowth of that is the United States is probably reduced to rubble.
Reduced to rubble.
You think that we can go to war with, say, go to war with Iran? We're going to eventually go to war with Russia and China. So how do you think that ends? You follow me?
I follow you, but so far
I mean,
they ain't spoke up about all this yet.
Right. Going to war with Iran is one thing, and if we tried to actually invade Iran, we wouldn't win. We could probably beat them in the air and at sea, but over land, take a look at Iran. Take a look at the country. There's no winning there. You need at least 1 million soldiers. How many casualties are we willing to take? 500,000? Because the Iranians will take 500,000 casualties and keep coming.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what if Russia nukes the United States and then the Chinese land troops here?
And then they decide to do a pile on. Yeah, I got you. And that
You follow me?
it could very well be what's in the making right now. And I hope to God that it isn't, because this could very well be the end to a lot of us. As the Bible talks about, to pray that your flight not be in the winter, and pray that your flight not be on the Sabbath, and to pray that your women ain't pregnant and got babies, and it talks about a time of trouble coming up onto the planet such as mankind has never seen before.
Well, we're getting close.
We're getting very close if you're sitting here watching the news right now.
Yeah.
You ain't watching none of it right now?
No, I've been well, it wasn't really feeling all that great today, but kind of got a cold.
This ain't just your regular routine flare up over there in the Middle East.
No.
I'm telling you right now, this is going regional.
Well, we'll see about that. I mean, if it does.
And if it does, you know what's going to happen to oil.
No, give me.
You know what's going to happen to oil.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if the Iranians block the Straits of Hormuz, then the price of oil will jack to the moon. My stock will go up.
Gold went up $200 today.
Did it?
Look at it.
Now, where are you getting that information?
Off the news.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I don't know what silver done, but gold went up.
Well, I don't really have a good.
Well, the markets is down today, but somebody said that it's some other type of deal that was going on that was verifying that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they already done saying that gold's fixing to go skyrocketing, and whenever that happens, you know good and well silver and platinum and everything else is going to be right in behind it. This is a big deal. Instead of you telling me to fill up all my gas tanks, you may ought to be telling yourself that.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check my fuel and make sure everything's filled, because the price is going to go up dramatically.
You know it will. You just need to sit and do some news surfing on your TV, and just go to looking at different channels, man. Because I'm telling you, this thing is turning into a Roman candle.
Yeah. Well, everything will happen in the Lord's season for like when we get to the we get to that where they can.
David, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Whenever I gave out the prediction in 2005 to the 43rd President of the United States of sending him a T-shirt about the War of Armageddon, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, of a bloody road ahead, do you think, as well as you know me, do you think that was what I was desiring or wanting to happen?
I have no idea, sir. I wasn't there.
Do I know?
I assume not.
No. I don't want to see bloodshed. I don't want to see Third World War. I don't want to see people get harmed and hurt and die. What kind of human being would I be if I wanted something like that?
Let's see what the BBC has to say here.
But this thing is getting out of control. And if people in America thinks that this isn't going to affect their lives, they got another thing.
That's just it. Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's the thing that, I've warned people about. And, this country cannot go around the world starting wars with impunity. Now, they might have been able to do that 40 years ago.
Well, you also got to look at this from a logical standpoint pertaining to Iran killing over 30,000 of their own citizens.
Well, sure.
I mean, if there was ever a time that we needed to stand up to defend the weak and defend the defenseless, it was this time, I think.
Well, we don't defend a lot, okay? We do what we want to do when it makes us money.
I'm just saying.
I get you, brother. I hear you. Like, we should have been involved if we were going to be involved anywhere. Be involved in.
I was up last night at 3:00 in the morning. Whenever the president first made his speech.
I said Nicaragua. I meant Nigeria.
He didn't just mention some sort of movement or some sort of a whatever they call it. He actually used the word war. And he actually stood with the citizens of Iran towards destroying that regime, and those was his words. You can listen to them. You can listen to them yourself.
I gotcha. Well, like I say, just because this is going on doesn't mean that this. A lot of times these conflicts, they'll have a big skirmish type thing, and bombs will change hands, innocent people will die. And then it'll,
damper down. I think the last one lasted 12 days. But I mean, this is going regional.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, they're not just they're just not trying to bomb Israel. They're bombing our embassies all over that area where we have allies, including Saudi Arabia. So I mean, it's going regional.
Well, Iran has sworn for years, my understanding is, for years to destroy Saudi Arabia.
And us. We're considered in their eyes the great demon over here, or the great Satan over here.
Yeah, they don't like Saudi Arabia either. It's the other capital of Islam is Sunni Islam. And they're Shiites, and they've sworn to destroy Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia, interestingly, is one of two countries that does not attack Israel.
Well, they're obviously not going to do that because they're our ally,
right?
And they want to be our ally.
Yeah.
So you can't burn both sides of the fence at the same time.
No, they're not. The Saudis are smart. They're about oil, about money, and I get it. They like making money. They're not wanting jihad or any of that nonsense. They got citizens that are radicalized inside their country, but they don't want any part of it. Yemen is another. They got the Houthis to deal with, but they don't want any war with Israel or the U.S. or anybody,
Well, they backed off the Yemens over there because it was really making them look so bad, because they was actually blowing up funerals and weddings and destroying civilian life too. But right now Iran's doing the same thing. They're attacking civilian life.
Right. Now the Houthis actually won in that war with Israel.
They did.
You don't hear that. Yeah. Nobody's messing with the Houthis. They want to leave the Houthis alone. I don't know why, but they do. And but beyond that, let's see how this all plays out. You could see
I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna see.
Sure.
We're gonna see a mushroom bomb. We're going to see a mushroom explosion because there's too many people over there that's already got nuclear capability.
Well, which ones are they? Israel has, I've heard.
You
two-
guess,
two to
you guess. I
300
mean, Afghanistan's got
units.
nukes, India's got nukes. I mean, my God, they're over there.
Yeah. Pakistan and India got about 100 each. I think they both have 105, interestingly enough.
I'm pretty sure Saudi's got some.
No.
Don't
they
think
got
so?
The U.S. No.
Well, you know Israel does.
Yeah, Israel's got 200 to 300. But,
Let's just
see
pray,
what
man.
happens.
Let's pray
Well,
for our American troops, for our American leaders, for our survival right now.
mhm.
This is
Well,
serious,
how many
David. This is
casualties
serious.
have we
This
ta-
is serious.
How many casualties have we taken?
I don't know yet. It's too early.
Well, I mean, you won't necessarily hear much truth coming out of our news media. They won't tell you if something, they just lie. They don't. They
David,
never
you
seem-
need to give the American people a little bit of credit. Not
Well, I
everybody
get
is
the
corrupt,
people.
and not everybody is on the
Right.
opposite side.
I get it. I mean, I have confidence in the American people. If it was up to us, we wouldn't be involved in a lot of these wars.
What
think
started
about
it, David, was in the late 80s, whenever Reagan was the president, during old man Bush, they was talking out of both sides of their mouth. They was talking about peace, but they went to war with the Iraqi people over there pretending Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and because of that's what retaliated pertaining to 9/11. Now,
Yeah.
it only makes sense to me whenever you got 28 terrorists and 24 of them come from Saudi Arabia, that it had to have been planned over in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you got a different opinion about that.
Well, I don't really. It's my opinions aren't that important. I think that ultimately, in the fullness of time, there's going to be 4 places destroyed. One is Riyadh, or however they say it, Mecca, Saudi Arabia will be destroyed. Iran is going to be,
Crippled.
well, it says there'll be no place in the world where the outcasts of Elam will not go.
That's the old Persian Empire over there.
They'll flee from Iran. Syria will be destroyed, and Israel.
Syria.
Yep, Syria, and I base that on Isaiah chapter 17, verses 1, 2, and 3. And Damascus shall be a heap of ruins. Okay.
Oh my
Number one.
God.
And then the last one is Israel. It shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, with a few berries left in the uppermost and outermost branches. Israel, Syria, Saudi Arabia, and Iran are going to be largely destroyed.
Do you know what you're saying? You're saying that the Pakistanians over there in the Gaza Strip basically don't have a snowball chance, and you know what? Because they're going to get caught up in the middle of all this. Of course, you got to look at Hamas. He was the one that started it to begin with.
Yeah. Well, Israel is.
Israel's just trying to defend itself.
Oh yeah.
Israel's just trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? They just want their little piece of ground over there and be left alone.
Right, but if they can start wars that help them in their cause, they'll do it. They're not altruistic or clean in any sense of the word.
I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
Israel is, bringing a lot of things on itself.
Well, right now we're in the prophecy until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And anybody can be a Gentile. You can be a Russian Gentile in believing in the Lord Jesus Christ, or American Gentile in believing in the Lord Jesus Christ, or there's converted Jews over there that's no longer considered Orthodox Jews, but they're converted Jews. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where's the Gentiles? The Gentiles has to be fulfilled until the times of the end before Christ is ever going to come out of the eastern sky.
Well, I think we're at the time of the fulfillment we're at the fulfillment of the time of the Gentiles. And I base that just on time, from the 2,000 years of the church age is coming to an end quickly. It started, I believe, in 30 AD and it ends in 2030. And, here we are in 2026. Things should be ratcheting up.
We're knocking on its door, that's for sure, Amy. We're tickling it. We're tickling it.
And the United States is not particularly biblically significant. So what happens to the U.S. between now and
You
then?
sound like Obama now. Obama said that America was no longer a Christian nation. You sound like Obama.
No, how do you figure? I'm just saying the United States is not going to be biblically significant at the end. That means something has to happen here. This is something that Bible scholars have been looking at for quite a long time. And there's 5 theories on it. One is the country explodes, gets hit with nuclear weapons. Another one is the country implodes, has a civil war. One is that there is some kind of earthquake or something. There's 5 different theories. One of them is drought, civil war. Something is likely to happen that ends the U.S. role in international dominate. We are the premier superpower. That's going to all change. It's not about us. You follow me?
I got you. How about our lead man over there in Washington right now, that basically put a threat onto AI regarding all these social media platforms and telling them that if they don't render to our needs, the American people needs pertaining to the Pentagon, the CIA, that basically we're going to blackmail them, or not blackmail them, but we're going to hurt them.
I don't know.
That just tells me that our Pentagon is behind where they should be pertaining to these private enterprises now that's got access to social media and Facebook and YouTube and all this other stuff. You follow what I'm saying?
I do. Well, AI is significant in its.
AI is going to cause a great deal of industries to fold, to collapse.
I don't know. They
sure
say
it will.
That, but I really don't know. I've heard it said, by 3 very important people about AI: Elon Musk, Vladimir Putin, and Henry Kissinger. Made predictions about AI, and none of them were particularly good predictions.
Basically, whoever is in control of AI basically is in control of the world. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I mean, it's
because we're no longer in the same universe that we was even 12 to 15 hours ago. With this going on over there in the Middle East, we're no longer in the same universe. You may as well wake up, David.
Yeah. Well, I just hope that cooler heads prevail.
Huh. Good luck in that. With us going through COVID and everybody already hurting. Come on.
I think
the drug cartels over there in Mexico. I mean, this is just now getting started.
Well, again, the official narrative is a little bit they're not necessarily telling you the truth, okay? The truth of the matter, it's not that they're not telling you the truth, they're not telling you the whole truth. And the whole truth is that Iran has worked to try to defuse the situation and bring peace. And I have a couple sources for that. I don't think the Iranian government is anything nice. They're evil. And in the scripture, it talks about
David,
God
they just got through
being
killing
angry.
30,000 of their own people.
Oh, yeah, a lot of countries do that. We've killed 30,000 of our own people. I mean, that's nothing unusual.
We've killed
No,
30,000 of our own people?
Absolutely.
How have we done that? When did we do that?
All kinds of things we've done. But that's another. Yes, dear, I heard you. Because I'm hungry. My wife's been really sick, but she can't be sick quietly. She has to be sick loudly.
Ah,
Um,
I pity her. I really do.
Well, for example, in China and Russia, they've killed 20 to 30 million of their own people. Do the actions of governments kill their citizens? Yes. Have our actions resulted in the deaths of our citizens? Yes. Not to mention, our complicity. There's things that, like diseases and all that, acts of terrorism.
David, didn't you tell me at one time that you used to teach on nuclear physics?
Yeah, well, nuclear, yeah, sort of.
And how well was you educated in that area?
Better than most.
Pertaining to uranium and
I know a little bit of something.
and all the qualities that it takes to be able to make a nuclear bomb. For as little as about $10 million, you can buy a nuclear bomb. Did you know that?
I've heard stuff like that. But
I mean, you taught in school towards people basically going underground, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope this isn't it, but it could be. But it could be.
Well,
I hate to say it, but it could be.
well, I actually believe there's about 4 more years. In 4 years, this is going to rock our world. In the meantime, I'll probably go fill up make sure my vehicles are full of fuel, and I'll be watching the stock markets.
Well, I heard something about gold. It's already jumped $200 an ounce.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Well, it closed yesterday. The markets in the U.S. closed at 4 p.m.
5,000.
Central and 3:59 Central and 4:59 Eastern, and they closed. It looks like gold was 52.79, silver was 93.77.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what the international markets are doing, but if the Straits of Hormuz are cut off, then that's 20 to 30% of the world's oil supply.
Do what?
Through the Straits of Hormuz in Iran. The Iranians will shut it down. If they have to fight with the West, they'll shut it down. And, that will affect oil prices and the world economy. It'll probably shut down the world economy.
I bet you the numbers are already increasing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Right here in the U.S. because of fear.
Yeah. Well,
Greed and fear. Right now, prices are probably already starting to jump up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already been a run on groceries in several countries over there. They've seen this thing coming.
Oh, yeah.
And that could very well happen right here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you see how quickly that it takes to empty the shelves just to run on, rather than it's going to come an inch or two snow around here.
Right. Things can escalate quite quickly.
They sure can. Yes, they can.
We could be talking. It's lunchtime. Take a little nap. You wake up and,
72 hours from now, this could be a completely different world.